David and Zach, welcome to the Growth Hacking Geniuses series from the Business Growth Geniuses community. So welcome to the show.
Hey, excited to be here.
So it's the second time, right? We've done an interview together before, several weeks ago, and I figured it'd be a good idea to do a live AMA because you guys have, some strong expertise in video and video marketing, and I wanted to give you a chance to share some of your wisdom and give some value to the community and people watching this video. So just a bit of an intro for people who don't know who the hell David and Zach are. David Feinman and Zach Medina co-founded Viral. Sorry?
I was going to say it's rare that people don't know us.
That's it. Everybody should know you.
Everyone should know us.
Exactly. So David Feinman and Zach Medina co-founded Viral Ideas Marketing, which creates online video content for clients ranging from small businesses to Fortune 500 brands. The company's mission is to help brands create to inspire. So Viral Ideas is a video production company for the social world. They work with over 100 companies worldwide, helping them create and distribute video content on new media. And their website, I'll put it at the end as well, but it's viralideasmarketing.com. So again, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having us. We're super pumped to be here and educate your audience on some tips and tricks that we've learned about video marketing over the years.
Awesome. And I do remember that you guys had really good energy when we've done the interview. And remember at the end of the interview where you shared, an inspiring moment, and I was like asking the next question, not as present as I should have been. But that, you guys have great energy. I'm definitely glad to have you on the show. So first question I had, and guys watching this, if you have any questions, type them as a comment, and then I'll ask them to David and Zach. Or just David, I guess. Is that what? No questions for Zach?
No, he's pointing like comments below.
Oh, okay.
but if you just want to ask me the questions, like if there's one specific for Zach, like why does he look like Justin Bieber? Feel free to ask that. It doesn't have to be just video marketing. We can have a little fun with it.
It is true. It is true. Do you sing as well?
No, I do not sing. I try to stay away from that.
You don't want to sing?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
All right. So let's say that I've written a lot of content on a blog or some other written format. How do I convert that content into video content?
Oh, you want me to take this one? You're looking at me, and I'm like, I thought you actually wanted to answer the questions. All right, so this is actually like one of the most common requests we're getting for video right now is companies over the past decade, if not longer, have been blogging their content in the written form. And what's happening is by 2020, over 80% of the world's web traffic is going to be video content, but companies are so far behind. And when I tell you some of the largest companies in the world are far behind on their content, there's companies that we work with every single day, they're far behind on converting their content over into video. So a lot of them have these libraries of hundreds, if not thousands of blogs. And what we've been doing with them is we've been using their existing content because a lot of it's evergreen content. It's content from 5 or 10 years ago that's still relevant today in 2018. So what we're doing is we're giving that content an update. And through animated videos, through sizzle videos, or through production videos, we're actually breathing new life into this content and reinvigorating it. So it's content that's already kind of been established, but we're now doing video on that. And by the way, if you guys have any follow-up questions, any points that we have, we can actually see on the side here kind of any comments that you guys have. So we're happy to answer them and discuss them.
You're publishing videos for your business, let's say. How do you actually measure results, like the impact of those videos on your bottom line or some other metrics that are important for your business?
So there's a few different ways. So one of our ways is we're having great results with retargeting right now. So basically you're putting a Facebook pixel on your site, and basically we can track the amount of views, purchases, add to carts, all that kind of stuff. We actually do this with a lot of hotel brands, and we're seeing some great results with that. So we can see exactly from a person who clicked on that specific video, how much that actually turned into a booking, and how much that actually converted them, how much they actually spent on that specific ad alone. So that's one way. I think you want to talk about.
Yeah, I'll talk about another way that's interesting, and it's actually not talked about that much in the world of video marketing. So when we're actually creating these videos, what'll happen is, let's say for example, let's take this video that we're making now. right? It's a simple live video online. We're gonna each spend about half an hour on this piece of content. However, by the time this is done, this will probably have 500 to, let's say, around 1,000 views. And if I overestimated that, and we're watching this like a few months from now, I'm sorry that I over-exaggerated the amount of views on this. However, the video might be a half hour, but we might get like 500 to 1,000 views. So the amount of watch time and the amount of exposure as an asset is actually longer a period. So what we're doing with a lot of our clients is we're measuring the amount of watch time and the amount of play time that they're getting with their videos over the course of time. So over the course of 3 months, 5 months, 10 months, 6 months, whatever it is, we're taking a look at, how much time is actually being garnered from the end audience from that video. And then in turn, how does that flip into, save sales time? How does that turn into, new business development? Because either as a salesperson or as a company, you want the videos to be working for you as a, an evergreen sales channel. So that's one of the ways we're measuring results, is just kind of capturing back a lot of time that companies previously could only scale on a one-to-one basis. Now they could scale 5 minutes on a 1 to 1,000 basis. Essentially, when you're creating a video, let's say you create a 1 minute video, 10 people watch it, you've now just created 10 minutes of watch time. If 1,000 people watch the 1 minute video, you now created 10,000 minutes of watch time. So you're actually able to scale 1 minute of effort or 10 minutes of effort into a lot more because of what you created on your video.
Okay, so the total watch time, and of course, if you break down, let's say, a 30-minute video into 5 smaller videos, that the highlights of that interview or live AMA, then it gives you even more watch time because you're sharing multiple videos from that one video, right?
And what we see that working too is, if our specialty is video for social. So we'll take that video and we'll actually break it up on an Instagram story. Instagram stories right now are killing it. Today, as of March in 2018, we just in case someone's watching this, a while back. But if you post an Instagram story and you break up a piece of content, you're actually able to get more playtime out of it. Or you break up a piece of content for under a minute for an actual Instagram post. It might only cost you a couple more bucks in video production, but the value that you'll get out of that little extra boost, far exceeds what you put into it.
So let's talk a little bit about different platforms, right? So the main ones would be, I guess, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, I guess Snapchat as well. How does Facebook, let's say, video rank as opposed to YouTube? Let's just take these two for now.
Yeah, so I mean, YouTube is the second largest for the search engine, right? So YouTube's a great place to put your video if you want to be found. People are searching for you. One great way to do it is definitely look out for what people are searching for. So for example, we have a series coming up soon where we have a bunch of people asking us questions about video and whatnot. So what we're going to do is we're going to utilize that and create our own little video web series answering people's questions, and it's going to live on YouTube. So for example, how to optimize your video. That stuff will start ranking up in, hey Shana, they're commenting on us. That stuff will start ranking in YouTube. Also a great way, as we all know, is Facebook. Facebook is prioritizing video over any other types of content, especially with the new Facebook algorithm change. We actually just did a video on that recently and how it's going to affect some businesses. Facebook basically is telling everybody that it's, for businesses, it's pay to play. So it's really important to, one, get your video content out there over any other types of content. And then second is really using the Facebook ad platform, boosting the post to really get more visibility, because you can't just, it's not as if you can just post a video anymore and it just is seen by all of your followers. You really have to boost it up on Facebook.
Okay, so a lot of boosting is necessary. You need to, pay for your videos to be viewed on Facebook. So what about, let's say, LinkedIn? Have they penalized you in terms, like Facebook has, in terms of reach, or does LinkedIn still have a really good reach?
LinkedIn, especially for the B2B market right now, is actually one of the most cost-effective ways to get content out there. We see it working well. Right now, I see, in just what I've tested with our clients, I see a negligible difference of posting a YouTube link versus posting a native video up on LinkedIn. But I have a gut feeling that that's going to change pretty soon, where you're going to start wanting to post a native YouTube, a native LinkedIn video versus a YouTube link, But we see that LinkedIn video is becoming increasingly powerful because people are searching for things that are happening within their LinkedIn network, and they want to see it. And actually, what will happen is if people like and comment on your YouTube video, or they like and comment on your LinkedIn post, that exposure actually goes a little bit further than a like or a comment on a Facebook post. At this point in time. So we actually personally at Viral, we do a LinkedIn post almost every single day, and it's a really powerful tool to just keep in touch with our network.
So I've noticed recently that on LinkedIn now, when you're posting a YouTube link, it used to be, from what I can recollect, from what I can remember, when you would post a YouTube link, it would actually play within the LinkedIn feed, right? If you're scrolling down and you see, like, you've posted a YouTube video, someone sees it, they play it, it's not going to lead them to YouTube. Whereas now it's opening YouTube in a new tab, I think, and basically you're playing it there, so you're going away from the platform. So is it better to post natively? I know that on Facebook it's definitely better to post native Facebook videos, right? You don't want to post YouTube links on Facebook. But what's the current state on LinkedIn in terms of native content as opposed to YouTube, besides the fact that now it opens in a new tab?
Well, it's still, I mean, maybe I'm playing an old version of LinkedIn, but it still actually plays natively within a YouTube link. Will still actually play natively within YouTube, or within LinkedIn platform. But it's all
different versions, maybe. Okay.
It's always best to post natively when you can. I mean, there is some benefits to obviously spreading the YouTube link around, right? Because the more exposure you have on your YouTube video, the more playtime you have, the more LinkedIn is actually going to, or the more YouTube rather, is going to rank you. So you want to get those plays up on your YouTube video. So there is some side benefits to posting your YouTube link, but if you're playing natively within the LinkedIn platform, uploading natively is always going to benefit you on any given platform.
Right. The downside of that is, from what I've noticed, maybe there's a way to do it, but maybe you have to go back and edit the video afterwards. But I didn't find a way to, didn't really look into it, but you can't really easily, at least, add the thumbnail of your choice to that video that you're uploading, right? When you're uploading to your feed, it just shows whatever, I think, first frame or last frame or whatever it is. But is there a way to select, like you can on Facebook and YouTube, can you select actually which thumbnail you want for your LinkedIn video?
That one, to be honest with you, unless you've looked into it, I haven't looked too much into the thumbnail creation on LinkedIn.
Yeah, just a detail. It just annoyed me because I share my videos on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and have podcasts on SoundCloud, which gets synced with iTunes. But yeah, that was the thing with native LinkedIn content that really annoyed me, is that you can't actually put your thumbnail like you can on the other platforms. So maybe LinkedIn has some catching up to do. I think they are trying to catch up, but I'm not sure if they're there yet. So what about the impact of each platform? So if your content is on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, what have you seen with your clients has maybe gets you the most traction? Which platform should you focus most of your efforts on? Maybe depending on what kind of content it is or what your industry is.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a broad question. I think you really have to focus on who's your audience first, right? So if we're B2B, right? So maybe more of our people are on LinkedIn versus Facebook, but that doesn't mean we're not going to share it on Facebook as well. We're really a big proponent on sharing it on as many platforms as possible, because there's always a different audience on either one. Some might like your content a bit more on certain platforms than others. So for example, on LinkedIn, you're probably not going to be liking or sharing or commenting on anything too comedic, for example. You don't see as many cat videos on LinkedIn as you do on somewhere like Facebook. So we keep it more business related on LinkedIn, but at the same time, our content does really well on all different types of platforms. It just really matters, I would say, is who is your audience at the end of the day, and really understanding that to create the specific content that they'll resonate with the most, as opposed to just blasting it out there and hoping someone is actually going to like or comment or share on it.
I understand that your content has to be, relevant for your audience, but would you have different content depending on the platform? You said you keep it more professional on LinkedIn. I understand that LinkedIn is really a professional platform, but let's say on Facebook, YouTube, would you upload the same content on all three platforms, or would you try to do like different content based on each platform?
So I would say this is dictated by the campaign you're running. So I'll give you a practical example. We're running a campaign right now for a hotel chain, and the way we're displaying the video is on Facebook. We're running a retargeting campaign. So anyone that left the shopping cart and an abandoned cart, we're going to show them this piece of content, and it's actually garnering more bookings for them. Another example is, that same piece of content is getting chunked up and shown on Instagram, and that Instagram content is not direct conversion related, but brand related. Then the same, back to Facebook again, we're showing that same exact piece of content to anyone who has stayed in the hotel in the past to garner some shares and some earned media through Facebook. So we're running a whole nother campaign that's different from retargeting on Facebook. Then on YouTube, we're running it primarily as a search play. So we've optimized their video for, if you were to search for that hotel chain on YouTube, on Facebook, or not on Facebook, on Google or on YouTube, they're going to be the first ones to pop up. So you're seeing that. We're also taking that same YouTube link and running it on their actual website. So when you're on their website and you're in the booking process, you can then watch the video. And then that same exact YouTube link is now also being promoted in the entire hotel chain's email signature. So anytime they're emailing with vendor partners or with people that they're trying to sell block rooms to, they're going to be able to see the video. So at the end of the day, the whole strategy, that's kind of one example, but it's not just about creating your video. You also have to have a pretty extensive distribution strategy and understand how you're using each of the platforms to do your video and to spread your video. Because really at the end of the day, if no one sees your video, you've kind of made quite an expensive piece of art and you've invested a lot of time in it. But if people are seeing your video, it becomes very much more powerful.
Let's talk about how to optimize your videos for, let's say, YouTube or Facebook.
I'll start with YouTube, and we'll have Zach take Facebook. So for YouTube videos, I definitely recommend checking out. There's a couple of guides online of specifically how to do this, but as a broad frame, you want to make sure that you have a nice description. Longer text is actually a pretty good thing for YouTube, and for YouTube search. You're also going to want to make sure you caption the video on the back end, and you're going to want to make sure you have proper tags. So when people are searching, let's say video marketing company in Philadelphia, you want to make sure that your video is tagged in a way that allows you to pop up first.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube has much more capabilities as far as optimizing your video. Facebook's a bit behind on this play, but something that is really important on your Facebook video is the thumbnail. That's the first thing you see. Although it automatically plays inside your feed, it's super important to have a really catchy thumbnail. So try to make sure that's always on there and prominent, something catchy. But also, captions are so important on Facebook. 90% of the people do not watch them with sound on. So if you don't have the proper captions, the likelihood of someone scrolling by is very high. Just the common things, there's some tags you can put in with Facebook, obviously title and caption, things like that. But the two most important things I would say is the thumbnail and the captions.
Also, to follow up on that for Facebook, within the first 30 seconds, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes of you posting a video on Facebook, you want to do something to draw some people in, to have them like, comment, and share your post. And even if it's as simple as you start the video, you run $10 into Facebook ads if you're a small business, or for a larger business, maybe your budget's bigger. But immediately you want to do something to draw some people in to like, comment, share on that video, because that's going to be what's going to push your video up in as far as viral, some viral views and increase your organic reach.
You're actually lucky because YouTube actually does that automatically for like the first week. So you have the benefit of that. They basically try to push your content out there towards the top of the rank to give it the best of its ability to really get it out there. I'm not too sure about the Facebook end, but yeah, just same old thing as on YouTube though, is commenting, sharing on those posts as well, because they really rank you in that first week or so while the video's out.
Captions on Facebook, I find, have been extremely annoying to deal with, because the easiest editor for captions that I know of was the YouTube one, right? So you would auto-generate your captions with YouTube, fix them, and then export the SRT file, right, the captions file, and then try to put that into Facebook. And I found a bunch of bugs, and depending on whether it was a group or a page, it didn't work the same. And when I tried to upload captions, it didn't work with that file. And there was a bunch of issues, and Facebook didn't have a good editor until I think recently. I've noticed that now for when I uploaded my last video on my business page, now they had a tool. So I understand the platforms evolve over time, but that was one of the things that really frustrated me on Facebook and really prevented me from always doing captions on videos. So do you have any recommendations in terms of captions to make it really easy? Or it's a pain in the butt?
Yeah, you asked that. So there is a service that we often use to get those captions done. Right now, we're actually in the mix of possibly finding a new service just because the captions weren't done quite to where we wanted them to be. As far as Facebook, yeah, it can be a real pain to get those captions up there. I know when it's basically if do the file name dot, I think English, so eng.us.srt. So they make it like super complicated. But yeah, as far as, I mean, there's a few services out there. I don't want to recommend any, but try them out yourself, see if they work for you. And usually these services, they make it really easy for you to edit inside their platform. So they'll deliver you the captions, and you have the ability to actually review the captions. And if you don't like something, you simply edit it out. And it's much easier than doing the caption generating on Facebook or the caption generating on YouTube, although YouTube's is pretty good.
I would definitely recommend too, like when you think about it, if you are doing it yourself and you're looking for a service provider, there's a lot of services out there that are $1 or less per minute of translation. And when you think about it, the platform maybe takes 25 cents off the top. So the person at the other end of it is only getting 75 cents per minute to translate captions. And I don't know if you've ever done it yourself, but if you're translating my captions, I talk ridiculously fast. So you might be looking at translating 100 words a minute or something really ridiculous. So to only be paid 75 cents to write 100 words and get them all grammatically correct and spell them right is actually quite a challenge. And especially, again, since I talk fast, the auto caption generator just can't keep up with me. And I know there's a lot of people out there that talk just as fast, if not faster than me. You want to make sure that if you are uploading captions, that you are checking to make sure that the spell check is right, because the services that are out there right now aren't perfect. Or pay a higher dollar per minute rate than $1. It's a worthwhile investment, I would say.
And when you have a Canadian accent, then it picks up about a word out of 3. So Canadian French accent.
But you guys have the healthcare, so we won't get into that.
Totally different discussion.
Yeah. Different
podcast, yeah. Okay, what are your views on series, like video series? For example, with PGG, I have a series, well, actually 4 different topics, so 4 different series within PGG. So, e-commerce, e-commerce growth, sales, and leadership. And I also have a series for my daily growth videos for, more on my business side, where I share insights and lessons and, things that I've learned from working with clients and whatnot. So what are your views on video series, and how should you do it on different platforms as well?
It's a great question. So what we have to really look at is, obviously Facebook and YouTube are some of the top players in video right now. So YouTube's been around for, I think, like 10 years or something like that. And we've seen time and time again people creating these series, these webcasts that people will follow, subscribe to, on a weekly basis. And what you're seeing with Facebook is there's a great transition between people moving from YouTube to Facebook and vice versa. And Facebook's building up a great library of content. So on your little Facebook app, you'll actually see it says Facebook Watch. And what they're doing is they're basically creating television production style series on Facebook. So what you're going to start seeing in the coming year or even less is you're going to be able to actually watch series on Facebook as if it were TV. So I don't know, what's the series that you watch?
On YouTube?
Anyway.
I watched The Good Doctor.
Never seen it. I don't really watch TV, but he watched it.
Is that popular in Canada?
I haven't heard of it, although I don't watch a lot of TV series, just some on Netflix.
My Netflix login.
So it's a great point too. So like Netflix, you binge watch these series. So what's happening is a lot of people are getting paid to actually create series for Facebook, and they're storing that content on this Facebook Watch. Now, what does that mean for businesses? So what we're starting to see is the transition for businesses where they're not just putting out one Super Bowl ad style commercial and playing it for a year's worth of content. Content is becoming very shortened as far as the time span that it's being spent and watched. So instead of forking in a ton of money into one video, what's happening is people are spending a lot of money for series of videos, and they're less commercial based. So it's not necessarily someone selling you something. So right now we're really not selling anything, we're educating people. And whether it's entertainment, education, you name it, anything but selling, that's what you're starting to see on these series based episodes, so that people are really translating your brand to whatever the series is. And in the background, whether you're using a mobile phone that's your company, or a car that's your company, that's great for your business. Although it doesn't have direct conversion value, there's great brand awareness. People are really becoming aware of your brand. And that's really where we're starting to see series come in the modern media age.
A lot of them too are mini series based pieces of content. So it might be like, let's say you're Mass Mutual. You might be creating content around different lifestyle stories, and different, various ordinary people that you found that you're creating a little documentary series about. So, doing all that is, working really, really well.
As far as I can tell, last time I checked anyway, Facebook Watch was unfortunately not available in Canada yet. And apparently in the US, I've asked someone else, Doug Holt, he was telling me that in the US, when I asked them, they were not taking on new shows. So I don't know how it's going to work, how it's going to evolve in the next year. Hopefully it's going to come to Canada and be more open to, every business, I guess. But do you have any information about what's coming up?
As far as Facebook Watch, not so much, but you have to watch the trends of what's happening on Facebook Watch and get ahead of it and start making your own series. So even though you might not be able to get on Facebook Watch specifically, you might want to start making a series as if it were on Facebook Watch, because Facebook will take a look at that and really like it.
And there's so much stuff going around that Facebook Watch is struggling in some places, Facebook Watch is doing good in others, and we have to look at it as they're competing with big places like YouTube, right? So YouTube's around for 10 plus years, so Facebook's still in the early ages of what's happening. So they're just learning to see how to monetize off some of these videos, how people can really create an audience using these videos. So I really think this is a time where we should stop looking at what's been done in the past and start making something new for the future. So we should be the ones reinventing the way video is done on this platform. We can't necessarily look at it and be like, well, it was done like this on TV, we should do it like this on Facebook. It's a whole different platform, a whole different medium, different types of people viewing it. So I really think it's our job to really be the creators and create what we believe is the next evolution of video.
All right, and the last question that I had was, how do you go about personalizing your videos, and for the for your audience, maybe having a bit of context and understanding of your business? So what process should you go through, or what should you think about? What's important in terms of personalizing your videos?
At Viral Ideas, we're really big about understanding the why of companies, right? So instead of us simply saying that, this brand of water is the best and all this stuff, instead of doing that, we're gonna maybe interview the employees, see what they're doing with their daily lives, understand them as people. Because at the end of the day, a business is just made up of a bunch of people. And if we can really get that out to the world and share their why as a company, it humanizes the brand. And when we can humanize a brand, people will actually buy it through their emotions and not just through rationale. So they can rationally understand that, okay, the water is $1 cheaper. Congratulations, you're competing now like a commodity with all these other water brands. But when you can hit an emotional chord and have people really understand you through that level and share your why as a company, that's where we've seen the most success with video.
And I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. What is your why with Viral Ideas marketing?
So at Viral Ideas, we really believe that everybody has the right to be fulfilled, and everybody really has the right to create what they believe they should at the end of the day.
That's pretty clear. Any other thoughts, anything else that you'd like to share?
No, I think we went kind of deep into a lot of these questions. And the first AMA, if you go back and look, we kind of touched a little bit on the surface, but I think we got a little bit more tactical here. But nothing too much to add unless you had some follow-up questions for us.
I guess my only other question is, what's your call to action? Would you like people watching this to just check out your website, give you a call, email you? What's your call to action?
So kind of a bit about us and the call to action that we give to every single person anytime we're on a podcast is our website's viralideamarketing.com. And we create videos and we do three basic things. We help you find ideas and we help you create your video strategy. We create your actual video through animated or production content, and then we help you distribute your video across social media as well as other model media channels. And my call to action to you is, if you're creating a video, you're creating any piece of content, you want to understand why you're creating that content before you actually tactically go and create it. It's one of the most important yet overlooked things when creating content. You want to understand that the stronger sense of purpose behind what you're doing, as opposed to just doing it to do it.
Zach, any last words?
I wish I had our phone number memorized, but we recently just got a 1-800 number, and I have no idea what it is.
Zach, you want to give me your cell phone number, or
I'll pass on that.
No, I think with the website address, that's perfect. People will have your contact info on there. David, do you have another inspiring moment that you'd like to create?
I just do all I have, man. Like, well, I don't know what else you want from me. No, actually, one thing from an inspirational point of view that I've been thinking a lot about. I know a lot of people that are listening are entrepreneurs, and one of the things that you go through as an entrepreneur, and I know this is totally off topic, and I'm really sorry, Matt. He's like, oh my God, where are you going with this? But one of the things, and Zach and I are very young entrepreneurs, and someone I actually look up to a lot is Gary Vaynerchuk, and one of the things he always preaches in what he's talking about is patience. And it's not something that really hit me too much until over the past couple months, because our company's been around for a bit, but it's growing very, very fast. But a lot of times when I think about it, I'm like, I want this to happen now. But when I think about it, I'm still really, really young, and I'm going to be doing this the rest of my life. So I have my entire lifetime to actually do what I'm doing. I love working on my business. So it's something that I've just been thinking about and really resonating, advice from people of, what actually does patience mean in any facet of life, and, relationships, with dating, with business, with anything, what does that actually mean? How does that actually look in our business? And we've actually taken to ourselves to create content over the next year that we think is going to last us a lifetime. So we're actually truly trying to take this patience thing.
So such as this video.
Such as this video.
I definitely admire Gary Vaynerchuk, and I did consume quite a bit of his content. The Ask Gary V and the Daily V series and all that stuff. I think another similar quote was from Tony Robbins. Maybe that came from someone else, but he said that people tend to overestimate what they can achieve in a year and underestimate what they can achieve in 20 years or something like that. So being patient basically is really key, especially if you've found something that you're passionate about and you want to keep at it for a long time. Then being patient definitely makes sense.
I think it applies. I think it applies to other facets of life too. You think about it in business. Let's be patient. But Zach and I are both single, and in dating,
that could be your call to action.
Here we go. I think people don't view it as you and whoever you're going to date, unless something tragic happens, are going to be on this earth for the next 60 years. So if you just go on one date with someone, like, that's nothing, right? Or if you go on 2 dates with someone or 4 dates with someone, that's nothing. You have your entire lifetime to date whoever you want, or multiple people, or get married, or whatever you want to do. So that's another application of patience that I've been applying to this. And as entrepreneurs, like, you want things to happen fast, either in dating or in business. But, something I actually been thinking a lot about is just, how does that actually apply? He's actually like rolling his eyes right now. I'm
good. I'm good.
Do you want to put your personal cell phone number in the bottom?
I'll put your cell phone out there now.
Awesome, guys. I love doing these talks with you, and you have great energy, and I can see why you're successful. So it's been a pleasure again today.
Thanks.
I appreciate it, Matt. Sorry about the end.
No worries. It's all good. All right. Have a great day.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Cheers.
Cheers.